Welcome to my YouTube channel Bachelor and Master English. Today we are talking about a story Civil Fish by Chinua Achebe. In today's discussion we shall be talking about the story summary, and there will be discussion in Nepali. There will be critical analysis of the play including the theme of the text. Finally there will be reader's review. So if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe it and like, comment and share it. I am sure you will accompany me till the end of this discussion. Here is the discussion of Civil Peace by Chinua Achebe. First of all, let's see the character. Jonathan Iwegbu, the family head who has survived the Nigerian civil war along with his 5 and 3 of his 4 children. Hard-working, hopeful and optimistic from low-class family, he does not show any regret what he has lost in the civil war. A symbol of workaholic who does not complain about losing 20 pounds, a significant sum, but looks ahead to the future positively. This is the principal character, he is protagonist of this fiction. And here is Maria Iwegbu. She is Jonathan's wife who works hard to rebuild their family life after the war. There are 3 daughters and they have just to play the role. They are not named. One of the 4 children passed away in the war, but 3 of them survived along with the parents, and they are very much positive and they are very much helpful children, and whatever their parents like to do, they support their parents way of living, and they support their parents to earn some money. That is the positive point, and they are quite helpful children. And leader of the thieves, a well-armed thug who threatens violence against the Iwegbus to get Jonathan to turn over his money. Let's go with the summary of the story in English. Civil Peace opens in eastern Nigeria after the civil war has ended. The principal character or protagonist is Jonathan Iwegbu, who considers himself and his family lucky. He, his wife Maria, and 3 of their 4 children are alive. He even has maintained possession of his old bicycle, which he puts to use as a taxi. His taxi service allows him to make money, and within 2 weeks he makes 150 pounds. Jonathan then travels to Enugu, the capital city, to search for his home, and to his surprise it is still standing when other structures around it are demolished in the war. The house needs some repair, so Jonathan finds some supplies, zinc, wood and cardboard around. He hires a carpenter and makes it look like a home again. He then moves his family back in. The entire family works hard to earn money and rebuild their lives. The children pick mangoes and sell them to soldiers' wives, while Maria makes akra balls to sell to their neighbours who are busy for working. And after finding that he cannot return to his job as a coal miner, he decides to run a bar for soldiers out of his house. Jonathan is thankful, unlike many of his fellow ex-miners, that he has a home and a job. Jonathan's family does well, and then they get an added bonus when the government starts handing out egg rashers payments of 20 pounds in exchange for the Biafran money Nigerians turn over. Jonathan leaves the office with his money in his pocket, taking care so no thieves should get it. The next night, a large group of robbers show up at his house demanding 100 pounds. When Jonathan replies he only has 20 pounds, the leader of the robbers demands he hand that money through the open window. After they take the money, life goes on as usual. For Jonathan, early morning because nothing puzzles God. Okay, this is the summary of the story in English. Now let's discuss the story in Nepali. Chinua Achebe नाइजेरियाका एक सशक्त लेखक र साहित्यकार हुन्। उनको म्यारेज इज अ प्राइभेट अफेयर अनि थिङ्स फल अपार्ट लगायतका धेरै कृतिहरू हामीले चाहिँ पढिसकेका छौँ र यो सिभिल पिस पनि उनको एउटा चर्चित कथा हो। सिभिल पिसलाई हामीले चाहिँ यहाँ आम शान्तिको रूपमा अनुवाद गरेका छौँ। यो शीर्षकमा हामीले युद्ध, गृहयुद्ध, विशेष गरी गृहयुद्धको प्रताडनामा परेको एउटा नाइजेरियाको समुदाय, त्यसको एउटा गरिब परिवारको एउटा चाहिँ उत्साहित मान्छे अब युद्धबाट बाँच्न सकेकोमा, अब युद्धमा चाहिँ धेरै कुरा गुमाउनु नपरेको हुँदाखेरि बाँच्नु नै एउटा खुसीको कुरा, भाग्यको कुरा भन्ने ठान्ने एउटा चाहिँ एउटा गरिब एकदम आम एउटा पात्र जोनाथन इवेग्बु, उसको श्रीमती मारिया इवेग्बु अनि 3वटा छोरी जुन छन्। अब जोस् यतिजना हामी 5 जना बाँच्न सकेका छौँ भनेर इवेग्बु परिवार खुसी नै छ। यही इवेग्बु परिवारको खुसी यिनीहरूले जुन एउटा आफ्नो जीवनलाई फेरि युद्ध पछिको सामान्य अवस्थामा ल्याउन उनीहरूले गरेको कसरत, उनीहरूले गरेको मेहनत, उनीहरूले गरेको आर्जन र अनि त्यही परिवारमा चाहिँ आइलागेको चोरहरूको चाहिँ एउटा डफाले उनीहरूले चाहिँ पाएको केही रकम तिनीहरूलाई बुझाउनु पर्दाको अवस्था र तैपनि चाहिँ बुझाउनु परे पनि भगवानको अगाडि कसैले चाहिँ केही गर्न सक्दैन। आखिर भगवान नै सर्वसर्वा हुन्, भाग्य नै ठुलो कुरा हो। अब पछिका दिनहरूमा राम्रैसँग जान सकिन्छ भनेर सामान्य जीवनलाई चाहिँ सामान्य रूपमा चाहिँ जीवनलाई सहज रूपमा लिने र एउटा चाहिँ जीवन राम्रो उज्यालो बाटोतिर जाँदैछ। अब जीवनमा विश्वास छ, जीवनमा भोलि केही हुन्छ भन्ने विश्वास गर्ने पात्र जोनाथन इवेग्बु र उसको चाहिँ परिवारको युद्ध पछिको चाहिँ अवस्थामा उनीहरूले चाहिँ आफूलाई परिवारलाई कसरी चाहिँ आफ्नो आर्थिक अवस्था सुधार्न कोसिस गरे र परिवारका सदस्यहरू कसरी जुटे भन्ने प्रसङ्ग नै यो कथाको चाहिँ मुख्य एउटा प्रसङ्ग हो। यसलाई चाहिँ हामी यहाँ चर्चा गर्छौँ। चिनुवा अचेबेद्वारा लिखित आम शान्ति कथामा युद्धमा सबै कुरा गुमाइसकेको परिवारको आफ्नो मेहनत र धैर्यताबाट कसरी पारिवारिक अवस्था मिलाउन सक्छ भन्ने कुरा देखाएको छ। सन् 1971 मा लेखिएको यो कथामा नाइजेरियाको गृहयुद्ध पश्चातका दिनहरूको पृष्ठभूमि छ। गृहयुद्ध पश्चात कसरी आम शान्तिको वातावरण सिर्जना भयो र नागरिकमा कस्तो अनुभूति भयो भन्ने कुरा कथाकारले वर्णन गरेका छन्। नाइजेरिया बेलायती उपनिवेशबाट 1960 मा स्वतन्त्र भएको थियो। त्यसको 7 वर्षपछि त्यो देशमा गृहयुद्ध सुरु भयो, जहाँ नाइजेरियाबाट इवेग्बु पृथक भई बायफ्रा स्वतन्त्र गणतन्त्र हुन कोसिस गर्यो। 3 वर्षको रक्तपातपूर्ण युद्ध पश्चात इवेग्बुहरू 1970 मा आत्मसमर्पण गर्न बाध्य भए, जसले गृहयुद्धको पनि अन्त्य गर्यो। बायफ्रानीहरूले युद्धको डरलाग्दो परिणाम भोगे। उनीहरू चरम भोकमरीको शिकार समेत बन्न पुगे। करिब 10 लाख मानिसहरूले भोकमरीमा चाहिँ ज्यान गुमाउनु पर्यो। यस कथाका पात्रहरू छन् जोनाथन इवेग्बु, उसको पत्नी मारिया इवेग्बु, इवेग्बु जोडीका 3 सन्तान, थप 1 युद्धमा मरिएको अनि चोरहरू, जुन चोरहरूले चाहिँ उनीहरूसँग पैसा लुट्न आए र अनि छिमेकी जो उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ चोरहरूले पैसा लगेपछि भोलिपल्ट बिहान सहानुभूति दिनको लागि चाहिँ उपस्थित भए। ती चाहिँ सबै यहाँका पात्रहरू हुन्। कथा पढ्दै जाँदा हामी गृहयुद्धमा त्यति क्षति नबिहोरेको नागरिक जोनाथन इवेग्बु नामको पात्रसँग भेट्छौँ। भाग्यवश युद्धबाट बचेको हुनाले उसँग बेग्लै उत्साह देखिन्छ। उसकी 1 पत्नी मारिया र 3 सन्तान छन्। लडाइँ सकिएको अस्तव्यस्त अवस्थामा सहज जीवनको कुरै आउने भएन। तर त्यस्तो अस्तव्यस्त अवस्थामा पनि कसरी एउटा परिवारले बाँच्न प्रयास गरेको छ भन्ने कुरा अचिबेले अभिव्यक्त गरेका छन्। इवेग्बु यस अर्थमा पनि खुसी छ कि उसको 1 जना छोरा मात्र मारियो। उसको लडाइँमा जफत गरिएको साइकल पनि फिर्ता मिल्यो। उसको गाउँको सानो घरको अवस्था पनि राम्रै पाइयो। फिर्ता मिलेको साइकललाई व्यक्ति र सामान ओसार्न ट्याक्सीको रूपमा प्रयोग गरी प्रशस्त पैसा कमाउन सक्यो। जोनाथनको परिवार मेहनती भएकाले छोराछोरीले सैन्यको चिहान भएको क्षेत्रमा गई आँप टिपेर सैन्यका श्रीमतीहरूलाई बेच्दथे। श्रीमती मेरियाले छिमेकीहरूलाई बिहानको नास्ता अति छिटो तयार पार्ने गर्थे। जोनाथन गाउँ गाउँमा साइकलमा गई ताडबाट बनेको रक्सी पानी मिसाएर बेच्ने गर्थ्यो। कोइला खानीका संस्थामा कार्यरत हुनाले कहिलेकाहीँ ऊ त्यहाँ पनि जाने गर्थ्यो। उसले धेरै समय भने रक्सी बेच्नमै व्यतीत गर्यो। एक दिन कोइला खानीको तलब लिन गयो। लामो लाग्दा दिक्क लागे पनि तलब बुझ्न पायो र त्यो 20 पाउन्ड मात्र तलब भएकाले हराउला कि भन्ने डराएर हिफाजत साथ राखेर घर आयो र खाना खाइवरी सुत्यो। राति चोरहरू आई उसको घरको ढोका ढकढक्याउन थाले। डराई उसले ढोका खोल्यो। त्यसपछि चोरहरू र जोनाथनको बिचमा वाक युद्ध भनाभन व्यापक रूपमा चल्यो। अनि उनीहरू बन्दुकले तर्साएर भए पनि उसको घरमा रहेको धन सम्पत्ति लुट्न आएका थिए र बन्दुक पड्काएर जोनाथनको परिवारलाई नै त्रसित तथा आतंकित बनाए। त्यो तलब बुझेको रकम 20 पाउन्ड पनि उसले चोरहरूलाई बाध्यतावश दिनुपर्ने भयो र उसले चाहिँ भित्रबाट बाहिर बसेका चोरहरूलाई भित्रबाटै दियो झ्यालबाट। रातभरि सुत्न नसकेको जोनाथनको परिवार सखारे उठ्यो। बिहान छिमेकीहरू सबै जम्मा भएर उसलाई सहानुभूति दिए। उसले शान्त भएर निर्धक्कसँग भन्यो कि लडाइँमा कयौँ कुरा गुमाइयो भने अहिले 20 पाउन्ड गुमेर केही भएको छैन भने रक्सीको जर्किन साइकलमा राखी कस्न थाल्यो। अनि उसले भन्छ भगवानले चाहे जे पनि हुनसक्छ, भाग्यमा बढी विश्वास गर्छ। ओके, द्याट्स द डिस्कसन अफ द स्टोरी सिभिल पिस. लेट्स टक अबाउट the analysis of the story. Civil Peace was first published in the Nigerian journal Okike in 1971. Civil Peace takes place after the war has ended. It captures a spirit of optimism. Achebe's Civil Peace shares one man's experience in a tumultuous post-Civil War period. Civil Peace represents Achebe's ongoing social commitment to his culture, his people, and the fight against injustice. Achebe's short story Civil Peace appears to be a sad tale of one man's failure to cash in on the meager rewards of post-war Nigeria. Civil Peace can be construed as a story that teaches its readers about survival and about the merits of a never say die attitude. Civil Peace in the form of a fable or a traditional tale, a story that teaches a lesson and culminates in a moral. Like a traditional tale, Civil Peace is told in the third person, and Achebe tells readers little about his main character except the information critical to the telling of the tale. This is a realistic story which presents the condition immediately after the Civil War. The story is about Biafran Civil War and its effect on the lives of ordinary Nigerian people. Here Achebe carefully maintains the balance between realistic reportage and the firm shape of the fable so that the result tells us more about the war and its effect after than an account of detailed documentation. In Civil Peace by Chinua Achebe, we have the theme of gratitude, optimism, struggle, survival, resilience, and acceptance. War, law of justice, and work ethics are also considered as themes of Civil Peace. The protagonist is happy because he can now enjoy the company of those alive instead of being sad for the one who died. Jonathan's optimism continues to prevail when he sees his house for the first time, which was slightly damaged. Optimism and its benefits remain unshakable through to the end of the story, when even when all of Jonathan's money is stolen by thieves. Jonathan is grateful that he and his family are alive. Because the war destroyed, devastated everything. He may have lost one son, but This does not dim the appreciation that Jonathan has in succeeding in surviving the war. Jonathan knows that in comparison to other people, he is lucky. If anything, Jonathan is optimistic about his and his family's future. The country may have been torn apart during the war, but Jonathan can still see something positive about the future. It is also noticeable how easily Jonathan accepts what has happened. This may be important as Achebe may be highlighting the fact that Jonathan holds no bitterness towards others for the circumstances he finds himself in. The fact that Jonathan's house is still intact is viewed upon as a blessing by Jonathan, particularly when he realizes that others have not been as fortunate. It is also interesting that Jonathan makes a success out of his and his family's life after the war. If anything, through the help of his bicycle, Jonathan is able to open up a bar which provides money for his family. He also seems to have moved on. No longer does Jonathan visit the mine in where he used to work. This could be important as Achebe could be using the mine to mirror or symbolize the difficulty that one can occur through civil war or any type of war. The men at the mine are homeless, unlike Jonathan. There does not seem to be any peace, literal or metaphorical, for the miners. They continue to struggle just as they did when the war was raging. If anything, Jonathan has positioned himself well through his ingenuity, with the reality being that his life may have improved after the war. Where others continues to struggle, Jonathan appears to thrive, which may be the point that Achebe is attempting to make. He may be suggesting that after the war, some people like Jonathan were lucky. Through hard work, they prospered and were able to rebuild their lives. There is also a sense that Achebe is highlighting just how difficult life can be for an individual during times of war. Jonathan had to accept that his bike was being stolen by the man masquerading as a military officer, and it is only through bribing the man that Jonathan gets his bike back. This may be important as it suggests that there is an element of corruption that can occur during a war. Jonathan had to recourse but to pay the man the £2, and there was nobody he could report the stealing of his bike to, which may leave some readers suggesting that during a war there is no justice. Institutes that an individual could rely on are no longer there. If anything, with war comes lawlessness. This sense of lawlessness is particularly noticeable when the thieves arrive at Jonathan's home. There is nobody to stop them. The country has yet to get back up on its feet, and the consequence of war. After war, individuals are left to their own devices. Some people like Jonathan will successfully rebuild their lives, while others will resort to criminal activity, which is very much the case when it comes to the thieves who call upon Jonathan's home. The end of the story is also interesting as Achebe continues to explore the theme of optimism. Even though all of Jonathan's money has been robbed, he knows that things could have been worse. This could be important as not only is Jonathan remaining optimistic, but he is also accepting what has happened to him. There is also a sense that Jonathan will not be beaten. The most important thing to Jonathan is his family, and they have not been hurt by the thieves. He knows that he can start over again and that all he needs is time. The money becomes an irrelevancy, something that is not important to Jonathan, just as he rebuilt his life after the war. The reader senses that likewise, after being robbed by the thief, Jonathan will rebuild his life and business. At all stages, Jonathan remains calm, knowing what is important, that is family, and what is not important. The reader is left with a feeling that no matter what happens to Jonathan, he will overcome any obstacle that he faces. The country might have been torn apart, but Jonathan and his family haven't been. They have showed resilience throughout the story and will show further resilience in the future. If anything, Jonathan or his family will not be defeated. Okay, this is the discussion or the critical analysis of the story, and you have seen here Civil Peace by Chinua Achebe. We have the theme of gratitude, optimism, struggle, survival, resilience, and acceptance. Okay, and let's go with the reader's review. Civil Peace, which first appeared in print in 1971, takes place in the immediate post-war period of Nigeria. Focusing not only on hardships and devastating of the war, but on the new opportunities to rebuild, the story has struck many critics for its optimism and positive outlook. At the same time, Civil Peace insidiously demonstrates the similarities between Nigeria during the war and after the war. During both periods, violence and corruption can emerge at any time. Achebe believes that the African writer must function as a social critic, and in Civil Peace he shares two coexisting views of the post-war Nigerian state. Okay, and that's all with the discussion of Civil Peace by Chinua Achebe. I'm sure you got the points. If you have any queries, please put your ideas in my comment box. Please, if you are not the subscriber of this channel, please subscribe it. And if you like this video, please share, like, and comment it